I'm not supporting
It's working!
backwards. Okay. All
Right,
right.
yeah,
I will
close
still
the
do
door,
mine
just
too.
go close the thing. Awesome. So we're only like, yeah, we're only like 6 minutes left. Cool.
My name is Shaban Agarwal. Today I'll be presenting God by Woody Allen. This is a play within a play that keeps us switching back and forth between ancient Athens and modern Rome. Ancient Athens, approximately 500 BC. Two distraught Greeks in the center of an enormous empty amphitheater, working on the ending of a play in 2 days. One is the actor, Diocles, the other, the writer, Hepatitis. Nothing, just nothing. What? The ending? Of course, what are we discussing? We're discussing the ending. We're always discussing the ending. Because it's hopeless. The trick is to start the ending when you write a play. Get a good strong ending and then write backwards. I've tried that. I could have play with no beginning. That's absurd. Absurd? What's absurd? Every play must have a beginning, middle, and end because everything in nature has a beginning, middle, and end. What about a circle? Okay, a circle has no beginning, middle, or end, but they're not much fun either. You know what? I'm not opening in this turkey. I have a reputation as an actor, a following. My public expects to see me in a suitable vehicle. May I remind you, you're a starving, out-of-work actor whom I've generously consented to let appear in my play in an effort to assist your comeback. Starving, yes. Out of work, perhaps. Hoping for a comeback, maybe, but a drunkard. I never said you were a drunkard. Yes, but I'm also a drunkard. Just once, I want to win the competition. Once before my life is over, I want my play to take first prize. It's not the features of course I care about, it's the honor. What if the king suddenly changed his mind? Or the queen could convince him, and the Trojan army would surrender because Agamemnon went back on his promise, and I could suddenly take up arms and make a stand. First off, he'd never do it. Neither would his wife. She's crazy. And the Trojan army would fight to death. Either way, it's not in Agamemnon's nature. And the end point, you can't be serious. It's against your character. You're coward and insignificant wretched slave with the intelligence of a worm. Why do you think I cast you? I've just given you 6 endings, each more clumsy than the last. Human beings don't behave that way. It's not in their nature. May I remind you that we don't exist in real life? What do you mean? You are aware that a character's on playwright on some Broadway theater. Don't get mad at me. I can write it. With characters in a play, and soon we're going to see my play, which is a play within a play, and they're watching us? Yes, it's highly metaphysical, isn't it? Not only is it metaphysical, it's stupid. Would you have to be one of them? Yeah, definitely not. Look at them. Then let's get on with it. It's bizarre, isn't it? We're two ancient Greeks in Athens about to see a play I wrote and you're acting in. And they're from some terrible place and they're watching us in someone else's play. A Greek enters from the wing. Diabetes, hepatitis, it's me, Trichinosis. Word has it you need an ending for your play. I think I have just the thing. Fellas! Some Greeks wheel out an elaborate machine. What the hell is that? The ending of your play. I don't understand. This machine which I spent 6 months designing in my brother-in-law's shop holds the answer. In the final scene when all looks black and Diogenes, the humble slave, is in a position most hopeless. Zeus, father of the gods, descends dramatically from on high and brandishing his thunderbolts brings salvation to a grateful but important group of mortals. You're saying that God comes in at the end and saves everything? I love it. It gives the people their money's worth. But if God saves everything, man is not responsible for his actions. But without God, the universe is meaningless. Life is meaningless. We're meaningless. I'm depressed. I don't know if I believe in God. If there's no God, who created the universe? I'm not sure yet. What do you mean you're not sure yet? When are you going to know? I won't accept it. I'm a free man and I don't need God flying in to save my play. I'm a good writer. You want to win the Athenian Drama Festival, don't you? Yes. I want to be immortal. I don't want to just die and be forgotten. I want my works to live on long after my physical body has passed away. I want future generations to know I existed. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the Stony Award. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the Stony Award. And I would especially like to thank David Merrick. How the hell did you start accepting the Stony Award? I still don't agree with having gods in the place. But now with thunder and fabulous lightning and great sound effects, I can assure you, sure the thunder and lightning. Suddenly there's thunder and fabulous lightning. The effect is wonderful. A fake Zeus descends swirling thunderbolts majestically. Wow, I love it. It's better than I expected. I'm going to win the festival. I'm a winner. Look, I got chills. I must do some immediate rewrites. I'll write you my commission for 26.50 an hour. Okay, we'll take it. Let's take it from the message scene. They start the play. Phidippus has set out on his journey bearing an important message for King Oedipus. The message is about God and if he exists. The message says God exists. This makes the king worry as he'll be punished for all his sins. Therefore, he decides to kill Phidippus. Though before the king can kill him, Phidippus takes the sword and tries to kill the king. Though the sword is fake. What are you doing, Phidippus? The king should kill you. Says who? Where is it written? No, I choose to kill the king. That put me, the slave, as the hero. No, that can't be possible. Of course, anything is possible. I'll be the hero now. This is a very serious play with a message. If it falls apart, they'll never get the message. There'll be no more reality. Absolutely none. My play. All characters have left the stage, leaving the two original characters, the author and actor, hepatitis and diabetes, talking about the ending. It was a good play. All it needed was an ending. But what did it need? Nothing. Just nothing. What? The ending? Of course. What are we discussing? We're discussing the ending. We're always discussing the ending. Because it's hopeless. The trick is to start the ending when you write a play. Get a good strong ending and then write backwards. I've tried that. I got a play with no beginning. That's absurd. Absurd? What's absurd? Thank you.
Be careful. Don't break reach forward and die.
In this piece, the slightly nervous, self-conscious narrator is so excited for her date until she realizes communication might be a bit of the problem. With the music so loud, she has no idea what her date is saying. Here, we get a glimpse into the confusion that ensues in her head as she tries to make sense of it all. Drowned out by Robert Patrick. What? Oh, yes, this table will be fine. If that's what you asked. I think that's what you asked. You may have asked me to marry you or to join you in assassinating several politicians. My God, why do they play the music so loud in these places? Why do they play the music so loud every place? Is it because jukeboxes cost $0.25 now? Is it to give you your money's worth? No, they can't possibly care about that. Yes, I liked the play. I'm assuming you asked me if I liked the play. I didn't actively dislike it. I didn't throw up or run screaming out of the theater. It was the sort of pleasant little play that makes for interesting conversation afterwards. You smiled when you said that. You must have been pleased with my response. Oh, I'm beginning to be able to read your expressions. When I get to when I can read your lips, I'll be getting somewhere. In the meantime, I can read the table. We're obviously never going to get a menu. Have you read the table yet? I wonder if he's read any interesting tables lately. Looky here, somebody called Life is Meaningless. And their phone number. Why, yes. Sometimes I think that life is meaningless. Other times, I don't think at all. And sometimes, I think I ought to cut my bangs. Do you think I ought to cut my bangs? That was a definite smile. We're getting someplace. Now, let's see. Did you say Yes, I think you ought to cut your bangs. At the moment you look like a pretentious lapdog. Or could you possibly have said, please, never cut your bangs. I love your bangs. I dream of your bangs. No, that's too many syllables. Well, I think I'll bob my head back and forth in time to music. I bet I look adorable doing this. Oh, you're looking down at the table. Embarrassed you. Oh, I see. Nobody else in the place is bobbing their head or tapping their fingers. They're all engaged in meaningful conversation. How do they do that? Are there scripts you can memorize? Am I just not subscribing to the proper magazines? Oh no, I see. You're not ashamed of me at all. You're reading the table. Now here's a bit of a problem. From your side, the caption beside an obscene drawing says, wow. And from my side, it says, Mom. Gee, I'd like to share that amusing tidbit with you. Maybe I should rotate the table. If I look up from that filthy picture and smile, will I get the wrong impression? Maybe I should just look around and bob my head and tap my fingers again. What? Oh, that's the silliest thing I ever said. Perhaps I just nod enthusiastically. Maybe you ask me if I'm having a good time. You're nodding too. We're agreeing on something. Hey, I'm nodding harder and so are you. We're laughing together. I probably just agreed to help you hold up the place. Oh my God. I did? And now you're reaching in your pocket for a gun. Oh no, it's $1. Okay. I know you're gonna offer any man in this place $1 to take me away. Oh no! You're gonna offer the waitress $1 to bring us menus. Is it any wonder that I love you? Would it be any wonder if I did? Well, yes, considering that we've never said 15 consecutive words to each other. Hi, I've got a cab waiting. I think these are our seats. I think the show's starting. Let's have a drink across the street. Sweet God in heaven, the waitress is giving him 4 quarters. He's calling paramedics to take me to the loony bin. Nope, there's no escape. He's walking to the jukebox and shoveling quarters in. He's wrinkling his brow and punching buttons. And I know that jukebox. I've read it. You get 5 selections for $1. I don't believe it. The music has actually stopped. I can hear plates rattling, and the cash register pachinging, and the paintball machine muttering, "You have defeated Koger." And here he comes back. It's true. I have defeated Koger. I'm going to be able to tell him I want out of this place. Oh boy. He found one that turned on several extra speakers. He's nodding me with a questioning look on his face. Maybe he's asking me if I'd like to set fire to the place. I'll not passionately. He's not sitting down. In fact, no one's sitting down. All around me, people are standing up. Maybe everybody has had enough and we're going to tear the timbers down and beat the jukebox into little plastic pieces. Now, couples are all embracing. Are the men going off to war? Are the women going off to the powder room? Are we about to split up and play football? No, they're all walking out to the middle of the floor. They're all smashing roaches under their feet and grinding them into the concrete. Oh no, could it be? It is. They're dancing. They've surrendered to the music. My hero's choice has conquered their reserve. And there he is standing there, holding his arms out to me. He's not trying to strangle me. Now, his hands are too far apart for that. He couldn't be telling me how big his fish is. He probably wants me to get up and dance. I could get up and dance. Well, no, that's not all I could do. I could bang my face on the table until he gets the idea. Only then, I'd go around with the word Mom engraved on my forehead. Oh, he's committed himself. He said, I thought we might dance, or else I'm off to fight in France. Either way, the polite thing is to throw myself into his arms. I can't just sit here clutching the table edge. I mean, I'm getting chewing gum under my fingernails. All right, I'll get up and let him lead me to the dance floor. He'll let go of me when we get there, and I can fall to my hands and knees and crawl to safety, wherever that may be. And I do mean wherever. All right, lead me to it. That's the spirit, that's the drive and energy that made us win in Vietnam. We did it. Well, this is a fine time to tell me. Every time I start walking, I reach forward.
Hi, I'm Ishani Chatterjee, and I will be performing Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Something you need to know. Crowley is a demon, and Aziraphale is an angel, and they have been in cohorts since the beginning of time. Crowley, the snake from the Garden of Eden, now a London living, sunglass wearing, die-hard fan of Queen, ambassador of electricity and snakeskin shoes. He also doesn't blink much. Aziraphale, the angel from Eden, part-time dealer of rare books, sushi enthusiast, hater of sound of music. Crowley's enemy, of course, but an enemy for 6,000 years now, which made him sort of a friend. Now the Antichrist is on Earth and Armageddon is afoot. At the moment, Crowley and Aziraphale are working together, devising ways to stop Armageddon. Sitting in Semblance Park, feeding the ducks. We'll win Armageddon, of course. But you don't want that win, right? Why not? After we win, life will be better. But it won't be as interesting. Look, you'll be as happy with the harp as I'd be with a pitchfork. You know, we don't play harps. And we don't use pitchforks. I was being rhetorical. But people are more than happy for it to happen, you know. It's what it's all about. The whole tedious business. And then what? Game over and start coin. Sometimes I find your methods of expression a little difficult to follow. But that's ineffable wisdom for you, I'm afraid. You've got it. How long do you think we've got? The prophecies differ, certainly until the end of the century, although we may expect certain phenomena before them. What? You know, and the world in two and then shall come and tumpity 1 or 2 or 3, whatever. I'm cold. Let's go somewhere warm. Fine. Let's have lunch. I owe you one from, when was it? Paris, 1793. Oh yes, the reign of terror. Was it one of yours or one of ours? Wasn't it yours? Can't recall. It was quite a good restaurant though. Come on, let's do the Ritz. The Antichrist had been on Earth for 15 hours, and one angel and one demon had been drinking solidly for 3 of them. The point that I'm trying to make is dolphins. What? Kind of fish? No. It's a mammal. It's the actual mammal. Differences. Made out of water? No, don't think so. Pretty sure that's not it. Something about their young. Whatever. The point is, their brains. What about their brains? Big brains. That's my point. Size of damn big brains. And then there's the whales. Brain City ticket from the whole darn sea full of brains. Kraken? Huh? Great big bugger, the Kraken. Sleep between the thunders of the upper deep and the lobes of huge and unnumbered bloody great seaweed, you know? Supposed to rise to the surface right at the end when the sea boils. Well, there you are then. Whole sea bubbling, poor old dolphins, so much seafood gumbo, no one gives a damn. All creatures great and small. Great and small. Lots of them with brains and then bzam! Alright. I don't like it any more than you do. But I told you, I'm an angel. But just to think about it, you know what eternity is? You know what eternity is? I mean, do you know what eternity is? This is a big mountain, see? A mile high, at the very end of the universe. And once every 1,000 years, this little bird. The same bird every 1,000 years? Well, yeah. Not the ancient bird then. Every 1,000 years, this bird flies all the way to the mountain and sharpens its beak. Hold on. You can't do that. Between here and the end of the universe, there's lots of bugger all, dear boy. It doesn't matter. Haha! It could use a spaceship. Yeah, if you like. Anyway, this bird sharpens its beak on the mountain and then flies back in the spaceship. And after 1,000 years, it goes and does it all again. Seems like a lot of effort just to sharpen a beak. Listen,
The point is that when the bird has worn down the mountain to nothing, right? Then you still won't have finished watching The Sound of Music. And you'll enjoy it, you really will. My dear boy, you won't have a choice. Listen, heaven has no taste. No, and not one single sushi restaurant. I couldn't interfere with divine plans. Well, what about diabolical ones? Pardon? Well, it's got to be a diabolical plan, hasn't it? We're doing it. My side. Ah, but your side can't do anything without being part of the ineffable, overall divine plan. You wish. No, that's the thing. What do you call it in your colorful idiom? The line at the bottom? The bottom line? Yes, it's that. Well, you can't be certain then, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't be certain that thwarting isn't part of the divine plan too. I mean, you see a while, you thwart, am I right? Broadly. Actually, I encourage humans to do the actual thwarting. Because of ineffability, you understand. Right. So all you've got to do is thwart. Because if I know anything, is that the birth is just the start. It's the upbringing that's important. It's the influences. Certainly our side won't mind me thwarting you. They won't mind that at all. Right. It'd be a real feather in your wing. But genetics, oh, don't you tell me from genetics. What have they got to live with it? Look at Satan. Created as an angel, grows up into a great adversary. Hey, if you're going to go on about genetics, you might as well say that the kid will grow up to be an angel. After all, his father was really big in the heaven in the old days. Saying he grew up to be a demon just because his dad was one is like saying a mouse with its tail cut off will give birth to tailless mice. No, upbringing is everything. And without unopposed satanic influences, well, at worst, hell will have to start all over again. And Earth gets at least 11 another years? That's got to be worth something, hasn't it? I suppose it's worth a try at least. And it'll be for the child's own good in the long run. We'll be godfathers, sort of, overseeing his religious upbringing. You know, I never actually thought of that. Godfathers? Well, I'll be damned. Being a demon or an angel was supposed to mean you have no free will, but you couldn't hang around humans for long without learning a thing or two.
Go waltz.
Waltz.
Just try not to kill the poor guy.
In this piece, the narrator is less than enthused to be at this dance and even more annoyed with her dance challenge partner. She attempts to be overly polite to her partner despite the cool thoughts in her head. The Waltz by Catherine Ann Porter. Why, thank you so much. I'd adore to. I don't want to dance with him. I don't want to dance with anybody. And even if it did, it wouldn't be him. I've seen the way he dances. Just think, not a quarter of an hour ago, here I was sitting feeling so sorry for the poor girl he was dancing with. And now I'm going to be the poor girl. Here I was minding my own business, not doing a stitch of harm to any living soul. And then he has to come into my life all smiles and city manners. Why, he scarcely knows my name, let alone what it stands for. It stands for despair, bewilderment, futility, degradation, and premeditated murder, but little does he know. I don't know his name either, and I haven't any idea what it is. Jukes would be my guess from the look in his eyes. How do you do, Mr. Jukes? And how is that dear little brother of yours with the two heads? Now why did he have to come around me with his low requests? And I had to go and tell him I'd adore to dance with him? I don't understand why I wasn't struck down dead. Yes, and being struck down dead would look like a day in the country compared to struggling out a dance with this boy. But what could I do? Everyone else at the table had got up to dance, except him and me. There I was trapped like a trap in a trap. What can you say when a man asks you to dance? I most certainly will not dance with you. I'll see you in hell first. Why, thank you. I'd like to, but I'm having labor pains. No, there was nothing for me to do, but say I'd adore to. Why, I think it's more of a waltz, really, isn't it? We might just listen to the music a second, shall we? Oh, yes, it's a waltz. Mind? Why, I'm simply thrilled. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to waltz with you. I'd love to have my tonsils out. I'd love to be in a midnight fire at sea. Well, it's too late now. We're getting underway. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, dear, dear. This is even worse than I thought it was going to be. I suppose that's one dependable law of life. Everything is always worse than you think it's going to be. Oh, if I had any real grasp of what this dance would be like, I'd have held out for sitting it out. Well, it will probably amount to the same thing in the end. We'll be sitting out on the floor in a second if he keeps this up. Why can't we stay in one place just long enough to get acclimated? It's this constant rush, rush, rush. That's the curse of American life. That's the reason we're all, ow! For God's sake, don't kick, you idiots. Oh, my shin, my poor, poor shin that I've had ever since I was a little girl. Oh, no. Goodness, no, it didn't hurt the least little bit. And anyways, it was my fault. Really, it was. Truly. Well, you're just being sweet to say that. It really was all my fault. I wonder what I'd better do, kill him this instant with my naked hands? Or wait and let him drop in his traces? Maybe it's best not to make a scene. Maybe he didn't do it maliciously. Maybe it's just his way of showing his high spirits. I suppose I ought to be glad that one of us is having such a good time. I suppose I ought to think myself lucky if he brings me back alive. Maybe it's too much to demand of a practically strange man that he leaves your shins as he found them. Yes, it's lovely, isn't it? It's simply lovely. It's the loveliest waltz, isn't it? Oh, I think it's lovely too. Ow, get off my instep, you hulking peasant. What do you think I am, anyway, a gangplank? Ow! No, of course it didn't hurt. Why, it didn't a bit. Honestly, and it was all my fault. You see that little step of yours? Well, it's perfectly lovely, but it's just a tiny bit tricky to follow at first. Oh, did you work that up yourself? You really did? Well, aren't you amazing? Oh, now I think I got it. Oh, I think it's lovely. I was watching you do it when you were dancing before. It's awfully effective when you look at it. It's awfully effective when you look at it. I bet I'm awfully effective when you look at me. My hair is hanging along my cheeks. My skirt is swaddling about me. I can feel the cold damp of my brow. I must look like something out of the Fall of the House of Usher. Is that orchestra never going to stop playing, or must this obscene travesty of a dance go on until hell burns out? Oh, they're going to play an encore? Oh, goody. Oh, that's lovely. Tired? Oh, I shouldn't say I'm not. I should say I'm not tired. I'd like to go on like this forever. I should say I'm not tired. I'm dead. That's all I am. Dead. I wonder why I didn't tell him I was tired. I wonder why I didn't suggest going back to the table. Still, if we were back at the table, I'd probably have to talk to him. Look at him. What can you say to a thing like that? Did you go to the circus this year? What's your favorite kind of ice cream? How do you spell cats? I guess I'm as well off here. As well off as if I were in a cement mixer in full action. I'm past all feeling now. The only way I can tell when he steps on me is that I can hear the splintering of bones. And all the events of my life are passing before my eyes. There was a time I was in a hurricane in the West Indies. There was the day I got my head cut open in the taxi smash. There was the night the drunken lady threw a bronze ashtray at her own true love and got me instead. There was that summer that the sailboat kept capsizing. What an easy, peaceful time was mine until I fell in with Swifty here. I think my mind is beginning to wander. It almost seems to me as if the orchestra were stopping. It couldn't be. Of course, it could never be. And yet, in my ears, there's a silence like the sound of angel voices. Oh, they've stopped? The mean things. They're not going to play anymore? Oh, darn. Oh, do you think they would? Do you really think so? If you gave them $20? Oh, that would be lovely. I'd simply adore to go on waltzing. Thank you. Good luck. In this short story, the narrator uses an incident at LaGuardia bathroom to introduce us to his sister, Tiffany, who has some pretty unorthodox habits. From the way she tiles her floor to the random objects she collects, Tiffany is one of a kind. Put a Lid on It by David Sedaris. In a bathroom at LaGuardia Airport, I watched a man take a cell phone from his jacket pocket, step into an empty stall, and proceed to dial. I assumed he was going to pee and talk at the same time, but looking at the space beneath the door, I saw that his pants were gathered around his ankles. He was sitting on the toilet. Most airport calls begin with geography. I'm in Kansas City, people say. I'm in Houston. I'm at Kennedy. When asked where he was, the man on the phone said simply, I'm at the airport. What do you think? The sounds of a public toilet are not the sounds one would associate with an airport. At least not a secure one. And so his, what do you think, struck me as unfair. The person he was talking to obviously felt the same way. What do you mean, what airport? The man said. I'm at LaGuardia. Now put me through to Marty. A short while later, I was in Boston. My sister, Tiffany, met me in the lobby of my hotel and suggested we spend the rest of the afternoon at her place. The bellman hailed a cab, and as we got in, I told her the story of the man at LaGuardia. I mean, he actually placed a call while sitting on the toilet. Tiffany is big on rules, but allows a pretty wide margin when it comes to mortal sin. Rape, murder, the abandonment of children, these are taken on a case-by-case basis. What riles her are the small things, and in denouncing them, she tends towards proclamations, most beginning with the words, a person doesn't. A person doesn't go around making things out of pine cones, she'll say. Or, a person doesn't use the word weenie when talking about a hot dog. It isn't cute. It isn't funny. It isn't done. In telling Tiffany about the man on the toilet, I expected a certain degree of outrage. I expected a proclamation, but instead she said only, I don't believe in cell phones. But you do believe in placing calls while sitting on the toilet? I asked. Well, it's not a belief, she said. But I mean, sure. I thought again of the LaGuardia bathroom. But can't people guess what's going on? How do you explain the noise? My sister held an imaginary phone to her mouth. Then she scrunched up her face and adopted the strained, broken voice commonly associated with heavy lifting. I say, don't mind me. I'm just trying to get the lid off this jar. Turning to our cab driver, Tiffany asks, do you mind if I smoke? And before he can answer, her cigarette is lit. You can have one too if you want, she tells him. It won't bother me in the least. The man, who is Russian, smiles into the rearview mirror, revealing a mouthful of gold teeth. Whoa, Daddy, we know where you bank, Tiffany says. And it's around this point I start to wish one of us knew how to drive. Like our mother, my sister can talk to anyone. Were I not here and were she in a position to afford a cab, she would undoubtedly be sitting up front, complimenting the man on his signaling abilities, and then, just for good measure, making fun of his ID photo or the name printed beneath it. These days, while the rest of the world sleeps, my sister goes through garbage. She carries a flashlight and a pair of rubber gloves and comes across a surprising number of teeth. But not like yours, she says to our cab driver. Most of the ones I find are false. Most, I say. In addition to the teeth, my sister finds anniversary cards and ceramic ponies. Angry letters written, but not sent to congressmen. Underpants and charm bracelets. Last week I found a turkey, she tells us. I wait, thinking this is only half the sentence. I found a turkey made of paper mache. I found a turkey and buried it in the yard. When it becomes clear that there is no part two, I start to worry. What do you mean you found a turkey? Frozen, she says, in the trash. And what did you do with it? Well, what do most people do with a turkey? She tells me. I cooked it and ate it. This is a test, and I failed, saying all the boring things you might expect of the comfortable. That the turkey was undoubtedly thrown away for good reason. That it had possibly been recalled, like a batch of tainted fish sticks. Or maybe someone tampered with it. Who would intentionally mess with a frozen turkey? She asks. I try envisioning such a person, but nothing comes. Okay, maybe it had thawed and been refrozen. That's dangerous, right? Listen to you, she says. If it didn't come from Balducci's, if it wasn't raised on polenta and wild baby acorns, it has to be dangerous. That's not what I meant at all, but just as I try to explain myself, she places her hand on the driver's shoulder. If someone offered you a perfectly good turkey, you'd take it, wouldn't you? The man says yes, and she pats him on top of the head. Mama likes you, she says. She's gotten him on her side, but unfairly, and I'm surprised by the degree to which it enrages me. There's a difference between someone offering you a perfectly good turkey and finding a turkey in a garbage can, I say. God, you make it sound as if I'm back behind Star Market borrowing through that dumpster. It was just one turkey. Ease up, will you? The last time I visited, Tiffany was pulling up the linoleum. I'd assumed this was part of a process, phase 1 to be followed by phase 2. It hadn't occurred to me that this was a one-step procedure. The final product, a tar paper floor. Combine it with bare feet and you're privy to pedicure's worst nightmare. My sister has appendages connected to her ankles. They feature toes and arches, but I cannot call them feet. In color, they resemble the leathery paws of great apes, but in texture, they're closer to the hooves. In order to maintain her balance, she'll periodically clear the bottoms of debris. A bottle cap, bits of broken glass, a chicken bone. But within moments, she'll have stepped on something else and begun the process all over again. It's what happens when you sell both your broom and your vacuum cleaner. Tiffany stomps her lit cigarette on the tar paper floor, and as she sits on the countertop, I notice the still smoldering butt clinging to her ankle. I've been doing a lot of tile work, she tells me, and I follow her finger in the direction of the refrigerator, where a mosaic panel leans against the wall. A woman offered to buy it, she says, genuinely surprised that someone might take an interest. We set a price, but then, I don't know, I feel wrong accepting that kind of money. I can understand thinking you're not good enough, but no one needs cash more than Tiffany. You could sell it and buy a vacuum cleaner, I suggest. Lay some new linoleum. Wouldn't that be nice? What is it with you and my kitchen floor? She asks. Who cares about the linoleum? It's no wonder Tiffany dreads my visits. Even when silent, I seem to broadcast my prissy disapproval, comparing the woman she is with the woman she will never be. A sanitized version who struggles with real jars and leaves other people's teeth and frozen turkeys where she finds them. And it's not that I don't like her. Far from it. I just worry that, without a regular job and the proper linoleum, she'll fall through a crack and disappear to a place where we can't find her.
Okay, awesome, guys. Thank you. What time is the next round?
10:30. We get to find out the final. We go to find out. Like it.
Yeah, but it's the next round of 10. So, because I have to fill out these things before I run down to the.
Okay.
You guys were awesome. Overtime. Does she get 10 seconds after 8?
Isn't it 8?
Yeah.
8:10.
So she's not leaving here.
But I'm not overtime.
I mean, you're 8:02. You get your 10 seconds grace.
So I'm not overtime.
Like technically.
We have to be in the black box for our finals. Serious. No, sorry, not you guys.
Oh, 10:30, yes.
No.
And then 30.
No, just 12:30.
It's different. Oh,
That's
Then 30
no.
should
No, that's debating them talk to.
She needs to get it done.
Look, what?
So long as you have your booklet.
Yeah.
And then she said they don't have
Personally, I think I'm a break.
I think so, because it's such a.
I'm going to
Where
go.
is it? Oh, 10:30 to 11:30. Oh.
I'm nodding off. I'm not built for early mornings.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know your potential on this person. Yeah, what they do.
But if you need it, Chinese or
I didn't go because this is one that it's fine. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. If I'm going to, we don't. Yeah. Yeah. We have to. We knew we were gonna get it. She said she missed, she put a line.
I skipped line as well, but we fixed it, so I was sorry. But then it's a piece of
We didn't make it. Is your mom home? They're gonna be great. You're gonna watch you. I'm gonna cheer you on.
Yeah,
We're gonna be like, you suck. Yeah, that's what we.
How's that about helping you guys? It's still next time.
She was big, yeah, she's nice. But we, yeah,
I'm gonna go up the song, like, hey, you're fine with that, then I tried it out.
yeah.
And she still got it, it's not like she lost, and she was just like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
she's going
You gotta
So, if, assuming they win and then you guys win, then they should
I'll
just
see
love
you.
it.
It's great that everybody came here.
Hey, Logan, can you do me a favor? No offense, but can you close the door? Because I have to do all these before the finals for Brompton.
Are you judging?
Yay!
Thanks.
Bye.
Sorry to interrupt you. Mika's like, I was 8:02. Does the judge know I get to 8:11?
Yeah.
I was like, yes. But you know, she gets.
I was just
nervous.
wondering, no, be careful, because if she like takes a breath
Yes.
somewhere and she's in the final. then
Yes,
she'll
I
make
see. You have like I wanted to just cut something out.
Actually, I would have been like. Yes.